cover. Basically, about a year ago, after my divorce, I came to this realization is that I want to do something positive with my life. So what I got into was charities and community service, and that really just opened up a bunch of different worlds to me. And through the JCs, I realized, well, their age cutoff is 40. So after JCs, you got Kiwanis or you got some other group, and a lot of times they have really expensive fees. And I was like, well, what about the person that just wants to hug a frickin' tree on a weekend for a couple hours, or go serve some food, at a place? And I got together with some other guys, and we're actually going to start up a charity organization, mostly focusing on the service aspect, getting volunteers together just to go do something on a weekend. And hopefully this will take shape next year.
Oh,
yes.
What are you going to call it?
We're going to be working on that name for a while. We're putting together a long list.
So dudes that like to hug trees on weekends don't work?
We can add it to the list, but I usually think of reserve duty when I think weekend warrior.
Which charities do you want to concentrate on?
Actually, I think a lot of the charities, they have different groupings of volunteers, and our idea was that, well, there might be a time where there might be shortages of people. So I'd rather just have a pool of people to go to Red Cross and say, hey, we got a pool of people that are bored off their butts. Do you guys need any help? And then whoever can go and help them, or they could go to Sojourners, or they could go hug some trees, or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter on the organization. The main aspect is the low cost of membership, and just to get a person involved in doing something, because I think a lot of times you don't really think about charities until you start becoming successful. And this way you could kind of mix the young and the old just to get out and do something. Even if they don't know what they're doing, like, putting on siding on a house. Someone's going to show them and they're going to learn a skill. And they might network with somebody that's maybe not in their social circle. And if they have a business, it might open up new opportunities that they never thought of before. So the real thing is just to kind of, just to keep the involvement, not to just fall off the map for the most part.
This sounds like a volunteer SWAT team.
Basically, yeah.
That's awesome.
Sir?
Where's the income? How do you make
The goal is not to make no income. Under the IRS reporting, I think...
a lot of weight then, huh?
I lost a few pounds. But no, I mean, it's going to be a non-profit. So in order to do the quick e-file thing, I think you have to make under $20,000 a year, so that way you don't have to provide full reporting. And really the goal is just to cover the basics, internet hosting. Well, internet hosting is like maybe $100 a year, if that, maybe a touch more, but it's a drop in a bucket. So the main thing is just the volunteer versus the making the money aspect of it. If you make money on a nonprofit, then your goal is really going to be well, what are we going to do with the money? Who are we going to give it to? And how are we going to be able to impact other people's lives? So I'm not even thinking that far yet. I mean, it might happen, but right now it's just to get people off their ass, get out doing something or learning something or meeting somebody that they would never meet in their freaking life, more or less, Monday through Friday or on the weekend.
Great.
Yes. I'm not going to check it out.
Well, everybody wanted to throw the ball at me.